Hey, what up everyone? I'm Cool, and this is Everquest Project 1999. And today, we are in Befallen, but we're going behind a locked door, and I actually end up in a very, crazy situation where, uh, I die behind the locked door, and my key is on my body, and how do I get in there and get my stuff if, my key is on my body, and the door's locked, and my body's behind the locked door. Let me adjust this mic real quick. I'm sorry. I got to get it close because for some reason, it's super low when I do my laptop, so I got to put it like right inside of my mouth hole. Yeah, Dark Elf Necromancer, level 11, in Befallen, getting ready to go behind the locked door, which is a very dangerous place to be, especially solo. Um, so should be pretty exciting. I wish I could record these live, honestly. Um, I wish I could. I've tried and I couldn't figure it out. So, pre-recorded for now until I figure that out. Maybe let me know in the comments if you know how to. I mean, I got a weird. It's kind of hard for people to give me advice when I have like a weird setup going on right now, anyway. But I'm making it happen. I figured it out. I'm making it happen. Even though I'm like recording a recording, it's still happening. So it's all good. Here is the inside of the unlocked door. The way you get this key, you go in the zone. When you enter the zone, there's the main hall, right? You go down the little stairs. There's usually a giant rat there, a wimpy skeleton, a putrid skeleton. It's the right wing, but it's the back right wing. So you don't go in the first door on the right. You go on the second door on the right, and then it's back in there. You head that way. There'll be like a putrid skeleton straight ahead. Kill that. Usually, sometimes it's a necromancer with its pet. Kill that, and then there's a door on your right. As you turn the corner, there'll be a door on your right. You want to go in there. You might have to clear out a little bit before you go in, because there are some putrid skeletons back there by skeleton lord in the well. But go into the right. If you see the well, you're going the right way. If you see skeleton lord there, Elrod or whatever you want to call him, don't go to the well, but to the right there, the door to the right. You go inside of there, and then just you got to kill the enemies in that room, and you got to go all the way into the back left corner, kind of little nook, little cranny, and there'll be a Shadow Knight that spawns there. He's not always up. You might have to kill this spawn multiple times before he will be up. But once he is up, I think he drops the key almost every single time. And I also got a chipped wand or something that gives a locate corpse 3 charges. So my predicament here was I'm behind this locked door. I have a key on my body. First of all, it's a little bit awkward to begin with because to open the door, even from the inside, you need to use the key. So even if you're on the inside trying to leave, you have to take the key out, put it on your cursor, and use it on the door. You can't just leave. Like, I already unlocked the door to get in, right? And you think I'd be able to leave without using the key, but that's not the case. So if you're running away from a bunch of stuff trying to get out of there, which is what you should probably do if you're about to die, which I tried to do, you'll see, maybe. I might have to, like, jump around in this video, so it might be a little bit of a weird video, because I don't have time to do the whole thing. I think it's like 47 minutes long, so we might jump around a little bit. Like, if I'm just sitting here meditating, I'll try to jump forward a little bit. We'll see how that looks on video, on capture. We'll see how that looks, but yeah, you got to have the key out, and you got to use it on the door when you're leaving or entering anytime you interact with that door. So it's hard. It's a hard thing. I think you can make a hotkey to where you can make it a little bit easier, but otherwise you got to kind of get in your inventory, get it out, close your inventory, and then open the door. So it's a whole little process just to get the door open. So if you're like dying and you're panicking and you're trying to get out of the door just to make sure your body doesn't get left behind a locked door like mine did, it's a little bit of a situation. And I was deep in here, so there's no way I was getting out anyway. But so that wasn't really the problem. The problem was, you'll see. But yeah. Also, if you're still listening, Duck Thor makes an appearance, the Kill Stealer, and his buddy, who is also a slight Kill Stealer as well. I guess they run in packs. But the guy kind of redeemed himself, so he's not as bad as Duck Thor, who is a cleric, by the way. He's not a paladin, so if you're trying to avoid this Duck Thor character, he is a cleric, which is kind of a bad thing, because people will probably forgive him just because he's a cleric, and people need clerics, they need healers, and not a lot of people play them, so yeah, but he makes an appearance at the end of this video, so look out for that. And his little buddy, who is also a kill stealer, it depends. His wasn't as blatant. His wasn't as bad, and then he redeems himself at the end. So we'll say this guy breaks even. We're not gonna condemn him as we did Duck Thor. But as you can see, I'm making my way back into this area. It's supposed to be a little bit harder, and it is. I mean, these are all blue to me, I think, instead of greens. And yeah, behind the locked door is obviously a little bit harder. You have to go through a process just to get back here. And thankfully, the key doesn't disappear when you camp. I thought it did, but it doesn't, so that's a good thing. But I don't know if you can have multiple of the key, because that would be a good thing to put in the bank. Maybe get another one, put it in the bank, because that was my only thought of how to get back in here. I was gonna have to maybe kill that Shadow Knight naked, and if you know EverQuest, when you die, you lose all your food and drink, first of all, so you can't regain health or mana. You only get 1 bar of each before you're totally out. All your gold is probably on your corpse. Well, mine's in the bank. I guess I could go to the bank. I do have a little bit of extra food, bone chips, and money in the bank, so I wasn't totally stupid about it. Like, I could have, after I died and my corpse was behind the locked door, I could have went to the bank, got a couple bone chips, got some food, got some drinks, got some money, and headed out that way. That way I could at least have a pet and food and drink to regen, but I'd just be naked. A good thing about necromancers is they don't really need their equipment to be super effective. Their equipment is only like 10% of their ability, like their strength. While other classes, it's like all of their strength. If you're a warrior, for example, and you have terrible equipment, you're going to be terrible. But if you're a necromancer with terrible equipment, you're probably still going to be above average compared to other necromancers. It's not as big of a deal. You just have a lower health pool or a lower mana pool. It's not that big of a deal. You could still probably beat the same mob in the same amount of time as another necromancer with a bunch of good gear. They could just probably kill more faster. But yeah, so my corpse was behind the locked door, and my only thought was, man, I'm gonna have to go in there and kill that Shadow Knight and get another key, if it's even possible to get another key, because I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. If you can even get 2 of them on the same account. I'm gonna have to look into that. Somebody let me know in the comments if you know if you can get 2 of the keys for the door in Befallen or not. That or somebody was gonna have to open the door for me once I got in there. And guess who was the only person in there at the time? A guy that had stolen a kill from me. So I had to ask somebody that stole a kill from me to open the door for me. Now, this wasn't as blatant as the other situation, because Duck Thor, I was camping that area for 2 hours straight, knocking everything down as soon as it popped. Everybody knew it was like blatantly obvious that I was camping those spawns, and he was blatant about the way he ran right by me and stole one of those spawns as it popped. You know, I jumped up and everything. Like, we already went over all this. Like, it was, despicable what he did, pretty much, in EverQuest. It's a rule. It's like an unwritten rule. You don't do that. It's probably a written rule, actually. But this one was a little bit different. You're going to see here in a little bit. I'll try to skip past all the medding and all that, where it's a little bit less exciting. Like, right now we're fighting this Necromancer, so not downtime. A lot of enemies back here. I really want to camp this area, but now I'm just super scared because of the key situation if you die. If I did this little front area, I think I'd be okay, because I could kind of sit by the door and pull everything to the door. That way, even if something went wrong, I could probably get out of there, or at least die like halfway through the door. That way, maybe I could grab my stuff through the door or something. But, yeah, the longer you stay in here, the further you go in, the heavier you get, the harder the enemies hit, like all of that. And the only solution somebody gave me, because I had asked someone, like, what am I supposed to do in that situation? And they said the only thing you can do is gate gate out. There's no way to get out of here except for going back through that locked door. So the deeper you go, the more scary it gets because the further away you get from that door. There is a door on the other side. I think if you go super deep in and it loops around to another door. It's the first door on the left there in the main hall. I think it loops around to that, but that's also locked. And I think it uses a completely different key than the one that you used to go through the first door. And I don't think it opens. I think it's the same thing. Like, you need the key no matter what to open it. The only other way you can actually open it is with a lockpick. But you need a very high lockpick skill, and I think only like rogues do that. And sometimes you'll find a rogue here working on his lockpicking. Let's try to skip ahead a little bit. I want to see if that works. We're just medding up. I just went out down a little bit out to the stairs here. Am I still meditating? Looks like it. Let's try to skip through some of this. We'll make it more exciting. I don't think anybody else is able to do this. There's a pit down at the end of the stairs there, so you didn't miss very much. Just me walking down some stairs. Now there's a dreadbone. That's a new enemy. We're used to seeing like putrid skeletons, regular skeletons, maybe a rare large skeleton, necromancers and their pets, and plague rats, some kind of rat, other rats. We actually, the Shadow Knight, the Skeleton Lord are two unique named kind of spawns, so they're kind of rare too. But now we're starting to see dreadbones down here, so that's pretty scary. A dreadbone. So let's see if I can even go a little bit further. I don't want to go too far though. So, all right, casting. Let's get it. Casting Ward Undead, which does a lot of damage to undead enemies. Got my pet with his staff and his shield that I got from a guard in Neriak, which was a tip I gave in a previous video. If you see people killing the guards in Neriak, just ask them if you can loot. Ask them if you can loot the staff and the shield. It's not like amazing or anything. It's like a fine staff or something and I don't know, some kind of shield. It's not like amazing, but they do sell it to the vendors for I think like 3 plat total. So most of the time you'll find the people will be picking it up and selling it, but they're inside of a enemy territory killing guards. Most of the time they're not going to want to get too heavy, and they probably can't sell to anything inside the city that they're killing the guards of. So you will find them leaving it to rot on the corpses a lot of the time, and you can pick it up and either go back and forth and make a bunch of plat, or grab it for your pet or yourself. Like, I'm using the fine staff myself, and I gave one to my pet, and I gave the shield to my pet. Oh, that was a close one there. Look at my health and mana. I got like 30% health and like 5% mana there. Oh, that was a close one. So we're gonna have to sit here and med up for a little bit. I think this is where the guy makes an appearance. That is the kill stealer. I think he makes his appearance pretty shortly. This is a spot where people do sit, I think, right here, and they just camp this little area. They'll kill that dreadbone, they'll kill that necromancer. There's like a few things around the corner, then you can go up and grab that room up above on the steps, I think. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to try some of this stuff deeper in Befallen. I'm just, like I said, I'm worried about the locked door and what to do, besides gating out, which I don't even have bind yet, but I'm about to get it. I'm almost level 12 in real time. I think in this video I'm level 11 with only like a bubble in or something, so I don't lose my level when I die, but it gets pretty close, so then I get really nervous and I go to that safe camp in Neriak, or Nectalus, that stone, and I kind of camp that all day, like yesterday. It's kind of weird talking about the timeline, because this is a video I did like 2 days ago, and then yesterday I was all day at that stone that I showed in the previous video, getting to almost level 12. Like, I'm a sliver away. I want to make a video where I ding to 12, so, and I don't want to do it at that stone. I'm going to go to like Eastern Common Lands and do a new area. I kind of like doing a new area every video at least. But I'm bandaging myself. That's something else you could do. I'm working on it. I'm not very good at it, so it's not helping too much, but you can bandage yourself up to 50% health. And, it's something you work on, you get better at. It's a skill, so you gain, like, levels in it. And while I'm doing that, I'm clicking Sense Heading, which is another skill. It tells you which direction you're facing. It's a really hard one to level up. Some people put it, they like bind it to their like forward or left direction. So every time they push like forward or left, they also push Sense Heading so they can skill up at it. But let's skip forward a little bit again. No more meditating. We don't want to. There he is, El Lewin there, taking one of my spawns there. I guess you could say he doesn't know. I'm sitting here. I killed these two things, and here he is killing the next thing. Like I don't know. Like I feel like he should have at least said something, but it wasn't as blatant as Duck Thor. He just walked. This guy walked down the stairs and just went right past me and killed the next thing in the line of fire. Like that's the next thing I was gonna kill, but he goes ahead and kills it. I was, to be honest, I was hoping he would die because I was kind of mad. This giant rat jumped in. His health is pretty low. I think I was actually clicking on him to see, like, here's his health up here. Gets pretty low. I was kind of rooting for him to die, to be honest, but I'm glad he didn't in the end, because he's the one that opens the door for me when I need to get in there and get my corpse. So, spoilers, that's what happens. I actually send him a tell. That's the good thing. That's a good reason not to like get into arguments with people and yell at them online in the game. Is like I could have yelled at Duck Thor in the game and like started this whole argument. Or and guess what? If I had, this guy is his friend. He would know. He might know that we went back and forth, and I got mad at his friend. I think it's his friend. I mean, they might just randomly group up. I'm not sure why I think they're friends. I think just because they're both kind of kill stealers. Which this guy, like once again, ends up redeeming himself. So I don't want to condemn him too much for going ahead of me and killing the next one in line. Like that's not as bad as going into a camp and taking spawns. Like his wasn't as bad, but he's up there. He's kind of following along behind me. I jumped ahead a little bit too far here, but got a Dreadbone. This is just around the corner, down a hallway. The Dreadbone. I think Leon, or whatever his name is. Leon. That's right, Leon. Leon is kind of following behind me, going the opposite way, killing things, so that's fine. It's just when he saw me sitting there and he took the very next spawn. Like, I feel like he should have at least said something. Because that is a spot where people sit and camp. And kill and pull to and everything. Like, that is a spot. But he probably just noticed I was really low on health. He probably saw me run down the stairs and knew that I had just gotten there. Benefit of the doubt. But as I was saying, you don't really want to get in arguments with people on here because guess what? This guy comes in and opens the door for me and helps me get my stuff. Like my corpse could have rotted behind that door if I never was able to get in there. If I can't get another key, then how am I supposed to get in there? Somebody would have to open it for me. That's the only way. If you're not able to get another key, because sometimes there's items that you can only have one of. And I'm not sure if that key, it probably isn't because of situations like this. But, you know, what if it was? Then I wouldn't be able to get in there unless somebody helped me. But we got a zombie here in this room. There's like nothing else in that room except for that zombie. That might be a little good spot to pull to also. But then, again, you're going to be really deep in there killing a zombie. So I think we're almost to the point where I die. I'll skip like the corpse run and everything. We'll just get to the part where because that's not very interesting. You don't want to see me run all the way from Neriak to Befallen, unless you don't know the way, I guess maybe. But this is interesting. Oh, I was wrong. That's not the room I was thinking. This is actually a stairway down even further. I really wanted to see what was down there, but once again, I honestly, once again, the other people have affected my emotions once again. I need to quit letting that happen. I just need to, I don't know. I need to get myself under control when people do stuff in this game. Like in the last video where I was trying to get back at Duck Thor by taking one of his spawns because he took one of mine. Like if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have died. Here, the same thing kinda. instead of going forward and down those stairs, I go backwards to see what Leon's doing, and it ends up getting me killed. So, I guess it's a character flaw of mine. I need to quit trying to get back at people for stuff they do to me, and I need to just, like, keep myself focused on my goal and keep going. Maybe that's a life lesson I could learn, you know? Instead of trying to get back at people and thinking about the negative and what they did to me and like how I'm going to get back at them, I need to just concentrate on what was I doing before that happened. Let's continue focusing on going forward towards where we were going before that happened, instead of letting that take us off on a side path. But here, let's skip forward a little bit again. I hope I don't get too far. There we go. We're still meditating. Here we go. I'm going out of that door. I'm going to go check on Leon like a dummy. Let's go see where Leon is, guys. Let's be nosy Nancy. Couldn't see him there. I heard somebody fighting. I thought I did. So I was gonna. Okay, well maybe he's in this door. Ooh, a zombie. I'll kill this zombie here. Let's get this zombie. I don't think he's in there, but there's a zombie in there. Let's kill it. Alright, what do we got? My pet. I'm going to send my pet in there. Be nice and safe. I should have sent my pet in there and then ran away. Because look what's up there. It's a lesser mummy. And I think it's like a yellow or a white lesser mummy. And my pet can't even hit that. It doesn't have a magical weapon. Lesser mummies can only be hit by magic. So if your weapon isn't magical, then it does no damage. They're invulnerable. So I'm trying to burn this zombie down so I can deal with this mummy, which is freaking me out because I know they're super hard because my pet can't hit them. So he's over there just killing my pet pretty much because my pet can't even do anything back. I should have jumped on the lesser mummy. I always think of ways I could have done things better, like usual. I should have jumped on the lesser mummy and let my pet kill the zombie, because that's the only thing that we could have done. I don't know what he conned. I don't know if I conned him or not. I think I was too freaked out. But I'm trying here. I'm putting all my dots on him. Actually, I tried a clinging darkness. That's a type of snare. So I tried to snare him and run away. And it just never works that way. I got pretty far away. Then he hits me and stuns me. Even though he's slower, I'm like heavy, I'm overweight. And once you get beat down a little bit, you go slower anyway. So once you drop below, I think 40% or so, you will move a little bit slower. Maybe it's 30%, but something like that. And then once you drop below 20, like they get extra like enraged, and they're gonna come after you until you die, pretty much. So you can lose aggro that way if you're a tank. If you're below 20%, or no, you gain more aggro if you're below 20%. So sometimes you'll see tanks fighting under 20% just to keep the aggro, but I think you also get hit harder, and that's not actually a thing, but I don't know, it might be. I think it is a strategy in this game. But you see me die to a lesser mummy. You have been slain by a lesser mummy. You have lost experience. Returning to home point, please wait. So I'm like, crap, what do I do now? I didn't even have gate up at all. So that's a lesson learned. I will definitely at least have gate up from now on when I'm behind that door. And, yeah, I should have run. I should have put myself on the lesser mummy and my pet on the other one. I shouldn't have gone in there. I shouldn't have went backwards after Leon. Like, I shouldn't have been worried about other people so much. Here I just punch a decaying skeleton to death. It's going to take forever, so let's skip that. Skip that, skip that. Now it's just our corpse run. We're running back to Befallen, so we'll skip through this as well. Passing Lava Storm there. Passing the Druid camp here, the little halfling camp. Along the water, like I say, along the water, going towards the bridge. Crossing the bridge. This is the bridge I always talk about. This is the zone line for East Commonlands, little tunnel. You can pass that up to get to that stone that I recommended fighting at the camp with the undead. This is the Eastern Commonlands entrance. Running along the wall so we can get back to the Western Commonlands where Befallen is. Still running along the wall. Running through Western Commonlands. You got to be careful here because there's enemies that are red to you, so be very careful and kind of stay along the Eastern Commonlands zone line, but don't keep zoning back and forth. I've done that before. This thing right here, Young Kodiak, think it's a con. I think it's a red con. I'm trying to con it, but oh no, it's only blue. Young Kodiak. But naked, I do not want to fight that. In the sand, we're going to take a right and find a dune, and then go behind that to find Befallen. Heading towards the dune, which is right there to the right, the little pointy sand. It's right there. Here is Befallen. Go in here. This is the zone line for Befallen. This is how you get to Befallen. We're going to sit here. We're going to put on invisibility versus undead. That way, pretty much nothing can see us in the zone. So it'll help us figure out how we're going to get our corpse. Medded up, got my invisibility versus dead on, and we're zoning into Befallen. We're in here. We're at the door. This is the locked door. I can't get in it. You must have a lockpick in your inventory to do this. The only people in the zone are Leon and Duckthor. So I definitely was not going to ask Duckthor. I would have left my corpse in there before asking him. But this is the door. It's locked. I can't get in there. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Should I go in here and kill the Shadow Knight? Should I, I don't have any bone chips. I don't have any equipment. I don't have anything. Like, I would just be me and my spells. I'd probably have to use my invisibility to get as far in as I could next to the Shadow Knight and then just kill it really fast and then hopefully grab the key. Hopefully the key works that way where you can get 2 of them. But here I'm sending a tell to Leon. Are you able to open this door for me, please? ? Luckily, I didn't argue with him earlier about the spawn, taking the spawn and going ahead of me and taking something I might have been looking to kill. Luckily, I didn't say anything like that. He says, yep, 1 sec, redeems himself, and he takes a minute to get back, but he probably had to clear out a bunch of mobs in there, so no big deal, and I really appreciate it. He does come to the door eventually. We're waiting by the door. I'm skipping ahead. Hopefully we don't get attacked by anything. We're still waiting by the door. Still waiting. And we're inside. I might even be able to go backwards a little bit so we can see him open the door for me. There we go. Look, it's Duckthor. Let's go back a little bit more. You ever seen somebody reverse while they're talking on a video? All right, let's see him open the door for us, and then surprise! Look who it is. Let's get a reveal here. It's like a game show where the door opens and you get surprised by something. It's like Jerry Springer where somebody runs out that you weren't expecting. It's Duckthor! Jerry, 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 you are the father. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. You are not the father. And then they dance and like do the splits, like do the Running Man and the Cabbage Patch because they're so excited that they're not the father. All right, so I'm like, this dungeon, I asked him, like, what was I supposed to do? Like, I told him the whole situation, like, there was a mummy, I didn't have a magical weapon. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, your body is behind a locked door, like, besides asking someone for help. He said, this dungeon is unique, no exit. You are supposed to gate out, bind out front, and gate back to the exit. And I don't even have bind yet. I get it at level 12. So I'm level 11. The thing he says that you're supposed to do, I can't even do yet. So I think I'll wait till I'm level 12 to go back in there. And that's very soon, though. In real time, I'm actually very close to level 12. So that is good. So I'm inside now. My corpse is right here. I'm trying to get it. I'm just explaining to him what happened. I said, well, rookie mistake. I'll have gate up next time. Then I'm explaining to him the situation. I'm like, the mummy got me, no magic weapon on pet, was even. Oh, it was even, so the mummy was even, which is pretty hard no matter what. If you're totally prepared for the fight, it's hard to fight an even mummy that can only get hit by magic when your pet can't do anything. Well, here's my corpse, getting all my stuff, and I get the heck out of here after that. So I think I'm about to end it here. Let's skip forward a little bit. Maybe you can see me gate out. Gating, it's loading. Yeah, so that's all I did. I got my corpse and I got the heck out of there. I'm like, this is a little bit embarrassing. Duckthor's here. Leon was kind of a Duckthor Jr. light, but he redeemed himself. And, yeah, like, share, subscribe, consider joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.